Hi Ashish, welcome. Good to see you online. Hi Muskan, Muskan Khan, welcome. Hi Nikita, how's it going? Hi Ashish, कैसा चल रहा है? How's it going? Anything started? Any work as such? I'm doing well. I'm doing good. Yeah, of course things are a little restricted. Abhi bhi everything's not opened up completely, but yeah, things are moving slowly and steadily. I'll say. Nothing just campaign. Yeah, अभी I think बहुत selected campaigns ही चल रहे होंगे. So yes, I'm doing well, Nikita. Thank you. So guys, on Candid with Ankit Nagpal today we have a very special guest, somebody who's very charming and very sweet. Is a celebrity fashion stylist, Anuj Lalwani, who's also designer. So let me just see if he is online and I can take him. Hi Sarah, good to see you. I've been lately seeing your posts. Something very nice, good pictures that you're posting. Hi Shilpa. So let's see if Anuj is around and we can add him. I'm doing well, thank you. Hi Rui, hi Shilpa. Okay, so we'll have Anuj live with us. How's it going, Rui, for you? Hi Anuj,
Hello, how are you doing?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful, good to see you.
Likewise, super excited to see you.
I think first time in this lockdown we are able to chat like this today that we are going to have a conversation. All this while we could barely have a chat.
Seriously. And I'm actually loving it. I was super excited for this, rendezvous with you, a candid chat with you. I was looking forward to it.
Superb. It's completely my pleasure. Believe me on that. In fact, I see a lot of common friends joining in. I see Bhavna joining in right now, who is also super excited to see
Hey,
both of us.
Bhavna.
And I'm going to check our view, the image right away for us, Anuj, before we start. So lovely. We both look pretty much audible and we look visible, both.
That's great.
Superb, superb. How have you been? Welcome, welcome,
I
welcome,
think,
Anuj. Welcome to Candid with Ankit Nagpal.
thank you, Ankit. I've been good. How have you been? How's everyone at home?
Everybody's well, everybody's been fine. Of course, monotonous lifestyle. We've just been living the same routine. Not that much, something new is happening in our routine, but yeah, it's pretty okay. Like a lot of things that we've not been able to do for years now, we're getting time for
Right.
that. I'm sure everybody is doing that now. But now
True.
it's getting monotonous, very honestly. I mean, initially, anybody asked me, I used to be like, okay, I'm loving it. I can cope with it. It's going well. But now it's going over it's over the top now.
Now it's like living with fear. Like, like as you know, like Karol Bagh area, there are like 1,500 people in one day. So when this
Right.
virus is in the air, it's like you're scared all the time. To be very honest, it's not a very happy feeling.
Not at
Like we
all.
have stayed
Not at all.
strong throughout, but like now you feel, oh God, I mean, it should just end. My only praise is just it should end now
Yeah,
because
yeah, not at
every
all.
day
Completely.
this year has been very, very tragic. I mean, we were so excited for 2020, there's so much planned, and now things are just going haywire. So it's not a happy feeling at all.
Absolutely,
So,
Anuj.
like,
In fact,
I
I was
wouldn't lie
speaking.
when people say, things are beautiful, we are happy, all that. No, I mean, it's very difficult times.
I agree with you completely. I mean, this is just a smile I have on my face, but internally, of course, it's a tough time. And in fact, I was speaking to somebody in Rajendra Nagar, and they said old Rajendra Nagar has literally become a containment zone. So it's quite crazy. But let's welcome a few guests also. Hi, Simran. Hi, Varun. Welcome. I saw Ashish writing that he has met you in one of the auditions in Glambirds, I think. That's what
Wow.
Ashish mentioned. So I must tell all my viewers who are here right now that I have this lovely guest today with me, who's super sweet, who's down to earth, charming person, who's a celebrity fashion stylist and a designer. So we're going to have a quick chat with him today. And let's begin, Anuj. Let me just put in my questions. I
Sure.
had a lot of questions with me to ask you today. So Anuj, let me just tell you a little pattern about this show. So we have this
Hmm.
professional segment first, then we have a little personal, then we go on the viewers' question, and then we have a little contest that is based
Right.
for you, on you, about you. For all our viewers, we have
Okay.
associates like Voila Accessories, and we have Gem Minds to have a gift hamper for them, whoever is the winner.
Wow.
So it's a complete show. So, Anuj, first question. I think I have never been able to ask you this. I've known you for several years now. I've always seen you as a stylist, doing great job, doing great work in for fashion shoots or online, e-commerce and various things, so pageants and stuff. So
Right.
Anuj, how has the journey been? Like, uh, how come a fashion stylist? Because somewhere I was reading about you that your mom always wanted you to be a doctor, and you always loved fabrics. You loved touching fabrics since your childhood, and this was somewhere where your inclination was. So let's know a little bit about your journey, which I also never knew.
Okay. Well, I believe in power of dreams. And as a childhood, I've always dreamt. People who know me, they know in and out, like, how much I believe in the power. From a simple dream which I saw, and our dreams get influenced by television. And as a child, I used to watch. We were not allowed to watch a lot of television as a childhood. The times are different now than what we grew up in. Like we had very disciplined, restricted timings to even spend time on television. But I used to hide myself because Bold and Beautiful and Santa Barbara used to come in the middle of night. Like they used to come late hours, post 10, and that used to be
Yeah,
our sleeping hours. So there were times I used to lock myself, watch television, and follow like Eric Foster from Santa Barbara and Bold and Beautiful. And that's how you started developing. Like, yes, I am going to have my fashion house. I am going to start my fashion label, or maybe have my name in fashion. I'll be somebody who will be will be around fashion or creating beautiful garments and gowns, and have your own label like Versace or Armani. So that's how the dreams start building up. And I was just barely, I think, uh, in first standard or second standard, which was like really young. And when I used to see them sketch, that is the time, I just started scribbling. I started making croquis, like fat croquis, ugly croquis, distorted croquis. But then eventually, when you follow your dreams, when you follow your heart and soul, you actually find a way. And that's how the journey began. From a dream where the sketches started happening, and then I got a lot of pressure to get into, like my mom wanted a doctor, somebody, because that was the only noble profession, those days. Like they used to sing
yeah.
doctors and engineers, and she always dreamt of having one in the house. And but unfortunately, like there was this kid who was so creative. You would imagine, like I was paint the walls. I was to make sketches on the wall. Like then
Wow.
they gave me one entire wall of the house. Okay, you can scribble on this. Do whatever. This is your baby. We will not touch it. So I would throw water, wash it out, and paint the entire wall. And
Unbelievable.
every 2 months, I would change the look of it. So there was this spark in it, like right from the childhood. And then I was the designer of the house who would dress up everyone in the family and recommend what to wear without even having any professional knowledge. But I think when you have that strong like desire to learn, you read
Right.
online, you read in magazines, and you get your knowledge. And that's how my journey began. And then okay, NIFT happened. Like my mom forced me to get into medical. I said, sorry, it's not happening.
Right.
I'm very strong-headed that. I convinced her, like, I will prove myself. And once, after years, you'll Google me, you'll be very happy. Like, I've reached where the family name goes up high, and will make you proud. So this is
And
when,
that's happened.
yeah, that's happened. I
That's
have
happened.
made the family proud. Yeah. And so that's how the styling, designing happened. I joined NIFT, and it was very difficult to get into NIFT also. It's not easy. Now
I
it
know.
is much easier for the younger generation, because those used to be as tough as IIT, where like lakhs of people used to apply and there were only 30 seats, 30
Yes.
seats per batch. And there were not so many batches. There was
True.
like fashion design and accessory design had just started. So there was only one course, 30 seats, and pan-India people are applying, and internationally also they were applying for NIFT. And those were the days, the tough days when we got into NIFT. And yes, it was a lot of hard work, where even getting into NIFT was like a big stepping stone, and completing your entire 3 years course from there. And then post that, once you graduate, you are lost again, what next to do. But I was
Right.
the privileged one, because we got the best designers collection for Seductively Yours. And we had like big names like Rohit Bals and big designers coming for the show during that time, because NIFT was like on the peak that time. And
Right.
the
Right.
old graduating students had come for our shows, and we got picked up. And that's how my journey began in fashion. So that was the first stage, the educational part of it. And then the second stage was like, okay, what next? And that's where I started as a designer. I worked with a designer for a while, a store called Mutiny, which is multi-designer store where Rohit Bal, Rubel Dangle, Tarun, Rohit and Rahul, lot of designers were
Right.
stocking. And, I started my design collection from there as a studio manager. And that studio manager was doing actually everything in the store, right from styling the mannequins to taking care of the stores, to taking orders. And then that's where I started designing for it. I told, like, I can take orders and start making sketches, because I was always good in sketches. I had that sense
Right.
of style in me right from the day one. And that's how I started my journey as a designer.
Superb. It's actually been a journey. If I would really like put it in the right way, and like I asked, it was really a journey, because you've come a long way. Like you rightly said, that there was a time when you thought that and I read about you. Like when I say I searched on Google and I got to know about Anuj Lalwani, so many things which I never searched as a friend. But now when I was searching and doing some research, I could see so many links. I could see so many articles. So yes, absolutely, you made the family proud, and I'm sure being a doctor also, you have made everybody proud. You would have if you had been one, but because you are a man of a person who's very dedicated towards whatever you're doing, that's what I have seen. So even if you would have been forced and been a doctor, I think you would have still been successful.
I think, Ankit, even I would have become a doctor, I would have probably had that fashion sense, and we would have dressed up the entire hospital and would have changed the uniforms. I'm
That's
telling you.
hilarious. I'm
I
bored
would have
of I'm bored of seeing doctors in white. So I'm sure in white you would have made
I would
that
have
change.
added color to them, because I believe when your energies are low, you should wear bright colors. You should
Sure,
always
sure.
wear those vibrant colors. This universe has created, Krishna has created this beautiful world of colors. You should wear all of it. So probably I would have given, dress codes to the doctors per day.
That would have been interesting. That would have been a revolution in India. Trust me on this. I'm
Seriously.
really bored of seeing doctors in white. But probably that is something you know that's probably a signature style of being a doctor. Maybe, may not. Yes, but probably there. So Anuj, you mentioned about Versace. You mentioned about Giorgio Armani. I was reading somewhere that Giorgio Armani has been somebody you're like your role model, somebody you really follow.
Oh, I have dreamt about Giorgio Armani throughout my life. Like right from the journey to, like even buying your first outfit, your first jacket or a t-shirt or, anything of Giorgio Armani had been a dream. Like, so super impressed with their life. And, like, you see, when you're in college first year, you get assignments like where you have to study designers and, you follow, somebody becomes your inspiration in life. And yes, it did. It just touched my soul. And I said, yes, I have to be there. I have to be in that place.
Right. Superb, superb. So, by the way, I must welcome all the guests who are joining in. They are very sweet to be here, listening to our entire conversation. And Simran has been writing something which is very interesting, that she's quite impressed with the lovely footprints and the journey that she heard about you.
Wow, that's so sweet. It gives like immense pleasure when your friends or people you've worked with talk so good about you.
Absolutely, absolutely. It motivates you with the right path. I always say that.
True.
Anuj, you've been traveling a lot. You love traveling anyway, how much I know about you.
Yes.
But you've been traveling, you've been doing shows. I think you've done something in Dubai also. You travel there very often. Otherwise, also you travel. So how different is it when you're doing styling in India and you're doing styling somewhere in abroad? Do you do a different search? Do you do a different, kind of homework to figure that out? Because every country has a different styling, has a different, way of dressing up. So how do you manage that gap? How do you bridge that gap?
Okay, Ankit, human beings are same all over the globe. They have the same sensibility, and fashion is such a strong revolution that, and thanks to social media, thanks to like Instagrams and your Snapchats and all the technologies, that no world is very different from each other. Like no country is so different. Like even, okay, maximum when you go to Dubai, you will be more conservative. But at the same time, the rules remain the same. It really doesn't changes, and people are same. It just only thing what I've experienced when I've worked abroad internationally is like where I felt people are more professional. People value time more. If it's like 5 o'clock, it can't be 5:55 or 5:10. It has to be like 4:45, and you have to be there. This is what I've learned working. They value time and they value human beings more than how Indians are. Because, when I started working in India, like way back, I learned people would not show up on time. The models would throw tantrums. If they don't get their coffee, they do not start on time, or, they don't, the things not done their way, they would not fix it. But internationally, I've seen people are very professional and they value time more. And so you become equally more responsible when you're working abroad. Like, like the way you pack your garments, or the way you, every look has been pre-planned. Everything has your homework. The way you work has to be much than
You have lost your voice.
In India, like a lot of jugaad works.
Okay.
A lot of jugaad works in India, which I've seen. Like, okay, what they see, if some person is not happening, they would compromise and find in another way. But if there are going to be five pictures going to be taken, it will be 5. It will not be 6. But in India, like the photographers, subah start karte hain. I have worked with such people who have called me like morning 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at the call time, and they themselves are reaching at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And then the shoot finishes at 2 o'clock at night. I have worked with such professional people also in India. So like then you feel, dude, I have commitment also. Like it's not that I'm just going to work with you like those till 2 o'clock at night because you didn't come up on time, or your makeup artist did not show up. So all these things you learn in this country. So I think somebody who's worked in India can work anywhere in any part of the world more professionally because you've learned the hard way around.
Lovely. I think that's a statement that I want to relate with. I've always heard this. There is no correlation, but I know it's something which I often hear with people, that somebody who's driven in India can drive anywhere in the world. So it's a statement that I'm hearing from you. that whoever has done styling here and worked here can work anywhere. But
True, true.
but yes, absolutely. But welcome all the guests. I see Tulika joining in. I see Rohan. I see Ashish. Thank you, Ashish. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. And so yes, Anuj, when you talk about tantrums, like you mentioned right away, and it's amazing. I had a few questions to ask you, but I can relate them so easily now because you've been mentioning a few things in your own conversation. That how about the tantrums? Like you've been working with a lot of celebrities, you've been working with a lot of people who've been from the Bollywood industry as well. So
Yes.
does it get a little difficult in terms of styling them? Are they like people who are very head belt and quite they're strong headed people that they say nahi ab yahi pehna hai humko to yahi suit karta hai and whatever the stylist may say they may not listen. Is that true or they're cool and they
No, 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 no.
blindly depend on
It's
you?
like entirely wrong. Most of the celebrities I worked with, they are genuinely nice people. They're genuinely humble. And see, it's like, I'll tell you what, if you're working with any star, any Bollywood star or any celebrity or, any big name in the industry, you have to do your fittings first. You have to meet them twice. You have to be in touch with their managers to understand what exactly they're looking for. And you have to
Right.
give them a lot of options. Once you've given them options, you've done, you've been in constant touch with them, you have to understand why they're saying certain things. And once you
Right.
understand their body shapes, because see, you are only seeing the pictures or you are working with them day in, day in, out. So you understand what is their requirement. Once you know the
True.
requirement, you will deliver the same way. I have never had problems with big stars giving me any kind of tantrum. Rather, they end up becoming such good, friends. They remember you all your life. They don't forget. They
True.
might not. This has been my experience. People I have worked with, they have called me if I'm sitting at Fashion Week. They've called me from the opposite side of the row, and they said, "Come sit with us." It has been so nice. Like I will name few like Urvashi Rotela, like where we did a shoot together. Like I remember I was doing Lakme Fashion Week and I got a chance to take a break. I was sitting in the front row watching the show. She saw me across, she was sitting on the other side of the row and she called me, Anuj, come here. So like, this is what happens. Once you create that bond, once you have done something right in your life, people will never forget you, no matter where they reach in life. This is
Sure.
what I've learned. And they're genuinely nice human being, all of them. It's like you
It's
and me. It's the connections. There are times things go bad. I'm not saying things do not go bad. If you
right.
have not worked backwards, if you have not planned your event or your shoot properly before.
But I think it's also to do with the mutual nature. Like if you're not a person who shows tantrums and you are not a person who has a, kind of an attitude. Usually I've never seen you.
Not at all.
In fact, you're a very friendly person. So I think people do reciprocate in the same manner.
True,
And
true,
they get also very, that warmth that obviously I've seen you in so many parties and events. I have never seen you getting into that tantrum level that, oh, I want to be on a VIP. I want to do this. I want this here. I've never seen you doing that. And so I think kind of it comes back from the other person as well.
I think that's the kind of upbringing we've got. I come from very Krishna conscious family. So right, I think जो आप बीज देते हो बच्चों को ना, that वो plant वो ही बनेगा. So I think the upbringing what my parents have given me has been very humble. So that reflects in my personality, and I've been always calm. And I think that things going wrong, you have to find solutions to it. You have to
Right.
maintain your calm and find. See, life is going to be full of problems. It's never going to be smooth journey ever. So all you have to do is find solutions, to those problems. And there also, you have to understand. And we're working with big celebs. They have so much pressures in their life. And the media is bashing them right, left, and center. They're doing events after events. Their every minute is accountable for. So when when they work in such a stressful condition, किसके ऊपर निकालेंगे भाई गुस्सा? Who will they vent out their heart? You only vent out your heart to your own family,
Right.
to people who are close to you. And people who are working very close to you, they will vent out to them only. That does not
Absolutely.
mean they become a bad human being or they're throwing tantrums. I'm somebody who has bent down and made them wear the footwear also. You know, like कि किसी का polish, like I've done shoots where कि जूते भी साफ किए हैं. So that doesn't make you small or big as a human being. It just makes you much stronger and much successful human being end of the day.
Superb, superb. In fact, you are a very creative person also, Anuj, I know. In fact, I was today when I was sitting for a chat with you, I thought I better be nicely well dressed. I saw my shirt, it's crisp and
You're looking amazing.
I have to be always careful when you're coming for a party. You're going to come in, you may just come and tell me, ye theek nahi ho, theek nahi hai. So I have to be always there. I know when Anuj is coming. So I have to be well dressed there. But Anuj, you're a very creative person. I believe when I was reading somewhere in one of the articles that there was a time when you were doing a shoot. Of course, I think in Jabong, you were also called as the creative and styling. That was a designation. And
yes,
so
yes.
there was a time when I believe this story is interesting. It did catch my eye that you were doing a shoot where you wanted a fabric black and white and the karigar was not there and you were very disappointed and you went back home and you saw a sheet, you saw a bed sheet in your house and
Right.
you styled that into a dress for the model. So like,
very true.
Is there any other instance that you like to share with us? Because this is one thing that just crossed my reading.
Ankit, there are many in my life. I mean, there are not one. Like in every shoot, you know, I have like used my brains instantly. Like, you know, when I feel there some headgear is required in like a face shot, like I take a t-shirt and drape it and make a beautiful flower out of it. Or like, you know, you use God gives you that creativity 24/7. So you use it in practical life. Like I remember that shoot where the brief was black and white gown, and I know, like, you know, we are connected. So I spoke to a few designers. They said you can get it collected, but in the morning. All time was early morning. So what I did, okay, let me take this all the black and white bed sheets in my house. Since you know my house is black and white. So
Right.
and I draped it. I got nice silver brooches, draped it nicely, and shoot looked so glamorous. Like, you know, before the shoot, the client was panicking. Ki ye to 8 ghante pehle, we've given him shoot, how will he sail through? So he was asking, show me the garments, show me the garments. You know, more than us, the client has always been panicking. So
Right.
we tell the agency, let us handle it. You guys breathe. You guys enjoy, have samosas, have chips, have burgers. Do not trouble us. We will show you the final result out of it. And so end of the day, you find solutions. And you know, sometimes more than a fitted gown, what you create comes out to be very nice. Because
Right.
we've learned our art. We know our drapings, we know our drapes, we know which body part looks nice, where to emphasize, which to highlight,
Sure.
which you learn over the period of time. So
Sure.
yes, I have, like, I know how to use my hands well on the model, on like which accessory to throw, which not to add. And
Sure.
you know, you prepare yourself. You prepare yourself ki which looks nice onto them.
Right, right, right. I think that one story was really like when I was reading that story and I was amazed. I was like, I have seen that happening though, but that thought to come that way, somebody could have even. I mean, that's where I talk about your dedication, because a lot of people could have kind of said no to the client or someone that karigar nahi tha to kaam nahi hua, but you went back, you saw a sheet and you draped that and you did that shoot. So eventually you finished your work, which you had committed eventually to the client. And that's where I talk about your dedication.
No is not in my dictionary. I find a solution to everything.
Lovely.
See, when you love what you do, you find solutions to every damn problem.
Wonderful, wonderful. I must say, I see Madhuri ji also here joining us. And she was very sweet. In fact, before we were joining in, she messaged me saying that she's putting in her College of Vocational Studies of Janki Devi. She said, I'm going to put this post in my group because I have a stylist who is coming. So, but I see Neha, I see Kritika joining in. So, I see a lot of girls who are right now here in our viewers who are watching this. So I have this very interesting question that a lot of girls tend to ask me as well. And I have an answer during my grooming sessions, but I'd like to hear what you have to say on this. Because this is a very specific question to do with styling, which I'm not an expert in, of course. So a lot of people do ask me about how do we be confident on stage and all of that. So that is something that I answer them from my point of view. Am I audible to you, Anuj? Because I see a. Can you hear me?
I lost you for a second.
Now you can hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I was saying a lot of people do ask me about stage confidence and everything, on the stage. So I answer them from my point of view of a personality development or a stage presence or confidence building exercise. But when it comes to styling and clothing, a lot of girls do tend to ask me this, and because I have a lot of viewers right now who is of that segment, is they too tend to ask me that, does confidence reflect with the kind of clothes they are wearing? Is or is it not true? Can what they are wearing define their confidence and make a change in their confidence on stage or in general?
Well, Ankit, let me answer you. When we dress up, anybody, like now, a lot of people sitting in lockdown also, they're just living in shorts and they're, basic, the most comfortable pieces of their garments. But the moment you dress up or you wear a color or you put on a makeup, your confidence level goes up. So even before the shoot, like you have to, the moment you dress up, you start feeling, yes, I'm a model. When you start feeling that you're looking great, the instant your brain, your body sends signals to your brain where you start feeling good. That happy, element comes to you, and that confidence comes to you. And you have to, I think, and if you do a lot of deep breathing, because I've seen girls when they dress up also, they lack a lot of confidence. We tell them to breathe in, breathe out. We tell them to remember a happy memory at that point. Like there have been a lot of time girls have been nervous and the nervousness shows in their fingers. Or, like they might be smiling, but their eyes are not connecting to the camera. So that is time I tell them to breathe and to remember happy memories. To go back to the happy zone of life and instantly close your eyes and open. Your eyes will sparkle, your body will sparkle. So that's how the confidence comes in.
Okay,
So
great. I think that's a great advice for all the viewers who are watching this. This takes me to another question, Anuj. That while you're working, you're a very you're a very serious person when you're at work. But when I see you off work, you're a very jovial and a very very cool kind of a person, very chilled out in life. So how is it? There are times when I speak to you and lockdown days, you've been positive, and a lot of people are like crying and they've been so negative about calm nahi hai, ye nahi, and you're like, it's okay, So what I want to know is that while you're working, uh, how do you balance that? Being a very cool, chilled out nature and getting into that seriousness, because when I saw one of your pictures online, I think it was during an interview for Jabong or somewhere, where you're very coolly sitting on a table next to a computer and a desktop, and I see these pictures and swatches on the backdrop, and kind of pinned in there, and you're chilling, you're like nicely sitting. And so how do you balance that out? Because that reflects you being a very cool person at work as well.
Ankit, that is me. To be honest, that is real Anuj, the most fun-loving person. Even when I'm at work, I don't give stress, I don't take stress. Like no matter the world is falling apart, and so to kya hua, solution nikal jayega. That's my attitude. Like I tell them, don't worry. There have been times like where my seniors have been panicking, giving me stress. I'm telling, chill, chill, chill. I'm there. I'll find solution. We will sail through it.
So like, great.
That's why I think.
I'll take your advice on this also. Sorry, go on.
I said that's my personality. Like I don't like to take stress or give stress to people. There have been cases where people are yelling and getting stressed. Oh my God, ye nahi hua, wo nahi hua. I said, dude, take it easy. I mean, you get paid to work for 8 to 9 hours in life. Don't take stress home. Don't give me stress. Let's enjoy that 8-9 hours of work and be happy end of it. Because yaar, kaam kyun karte ho?
Results. You
only work.
That shows in the results also, right, Anuj? Because I mean, that's
true,
if you have a great connection.
Certainly, and believe in your God. No, believe in Krishna. somebody who's created, you believe in him, your all problems will be sorted in life. And I know people who have given me stress. I say, God bless you. I bless them 100%. I say, God give you some kind of sensibility that it calms your soul, that you are peaceful. Because if you are peaceful, you will
True.
keep me peaceful. You will keep
True.
me happy during the shoot or a show or whatever. Like there
True.
have been times the photographer is panicking or something is not going right. The production is not going right. I remember there was one shoot, Da Milano. We didn't find a location. We did it in their own, the backyard of their go down. And we
Right.
created the set there. We got the horse there. So solutions can be found. Only thing if you have a cool mind and you have a strong, well-connected team. I
That's
remember
true.
doing Monte Carlo campaign in Thailand, and Ankit, can you imagine waking up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and getting your models ready by 3, and the first shot happens at 4 o'clock with the sunrise, and you have to reach the location also. And plus, you crazy people like us want to party also before the night. So
Right.
but you have to find solutions, and you have to
True,
maintain
true,
peace
true.
and
In
calm. This is
fact,
what I've learned.
especially with a creative person in a work that we are into creativity, and we need to, there are times when we have to plan something very impromptu, and we don't have time
Right.
for that, and it's something which just crosses our mind immediately, and we have to get it done. So that's something where you need that kind of clean mind that time. Welcome, Amit. Sorry, I must welcome you.
Hey, Amit.
So
I
there's
see
some.
so many friends
I know
like
that's what I'm
joining in,
saying.
which that's a beautiful feeling.
Some friends who just join in, and suddenly when you're having a conversation and you can't leave out to welcome them because they've been
Right.
wonderful. In fact, Amit is one of them. Belated happy birthday, Amit, by the way.
Yes, belated happy birthday. We should sing for you happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Amit. You owe us a treat though, soon after everything is
True.
open. Some white, blue, green themes. I remember you always put a theme to your birthdays, and we have a stylist here today.
Exactly.
So Anuj, you've been doing, we'll go to your personal side of it. I have a few questions to ask you there as well. But just when I go there, I've been noticing in your profile, you've done a lot of shows with some Australian Fashion Week. You've done a Hong Kong Fashion Week. You've done, various things. You've been associated with Femina. You've done Jabong. So I want to know that Jabong, I just want to close the professional side of it with this question. That Jabong was an online fashion show, right? Am I right? So
Yeah.
how is
Jabong Online Fashion Week.
Fashion Week? So an online fashion week and a physical, like a real one, which is happening on a stage and with the entire setup.
Yes.
How does it get, for a stylist to kind of put yourself into that situation and work? How is it different? Can you explain that for all the viewers as well?
Okay. See, when I joined Jabong, this is way back in 2012, and Jabong wanted to create themselves as a fashion destination when they started. I was in my initial years of joining Jabong, where I was told one thing, that we want to make it look very fashionable, the website, and make it a fashion destination, that anybody who shops online should think of one brand, which is Jabong.
Right.
So this was the time, a brief or a basic introduction with my co-founder, and my understanding was, yes, we have to create Jabong as a fashion destination. So the first year of me working with Jabong was to create the look and feel, as in the entire website, the way it looked, to revamp the entire look, to create their Bible for them, that the rule book, that what poses are going to happen, what kind of the way the model is going to stand, like what kind of makeup and the brief will be given to them for the first look, the second and the third, and how the shoot, because see, when you're selling online, you are doing 100 garments per day per model, because that's how you're doing 100 SKUs. SKUs is like per pieces of garment. So that means you will be dressing, but still you have to make the website look very beautiful. One way of doing it is like make them wear one blue jeans and keep changing the shirts.
Yeah.
But it will look very boring, and the client will not invest time to it.
Right.
So, but when you study trends and when you study fashion forecast, you create looks for them. You create a rule book for them, and which was created by me, the entire rule book for the production, for styling, and for editing. And that was the first phase of Jabong for me. And the second phase was like when we did it right, when the website started looking good and we started doing very well. Like it was at the peak at that point. That's where the Jabong Online Fashion Week came in, and
Okay.
I joined special projects where we hired another person to handle the production, and I came to the special projects team where whether my role was to you know think of ways where it can become more, make it a fashion destination, as I said. So then
Sure.
we brainstormed and we thought of creating Japan Online Fashion Week, which was the first shoppable fashion week online. When the clothes
Nice.
come online, they when the fashion show is happening, you could buy by the click of the button. That's what the Jabong Online Fashion Week was. So since in my team I had like three more people which were INs, people who were brains, who were like who could do the calculations and who could loop in sponsors and create the entire show. That's what
Right.
they did, and I was somebody who was the creative face. Like I was the creative person, creative head for them to take
Right.
all creative decisions, as
Yes.
in looping and talent, like which talent will be part of it. It was like a talent hunt created for them, where like models, designers, photographers, stylists, makeup artists, everybody who was connected to Fashion Week will be a talent which will apply, and we will choose. And we got thousands and thousands of entries. And out of those 1,000 entries, we had to come down to
Okay.
100 entries, and then 100 to, then we had jury members, people from the industry on board, like the best of best, like the Vogue editors to your Nandini Bhalla's, the Cosmo editor, my dear friend. And
Yes.
then we had Lubna Adams, Rashmi Vermani for the season one, who had choreographed a show, very senior and very dear friend
That's
of
true.
mine.
Yeah.
Actually, she had choreographed my fashion show, my graduating days. And so that's how, we connected everyone from the industry and created a fashion week. The best of the
Wonderful.
people. And
Wonderful.
then for
Wonderful.
the photographer category, we had people from the industry, the top photographers of our industry, to be part and who could judge the photography category. Same as we had supermodels like Nyonika Chatterjee and Sushmita Sen as a face, Yami Gautam as a face, for season one, and then Sushmita Sen for season two, and then we had Kalki Kocher, we had Sharda, we had like you name.
A lot of names. Yeah.
Year, and for the second season we had Times Now, which was a part of it. So it was a well planned fashion week, a very successful fashion week, where we
Sure.
got a lot of eyeballs. Entire the fashion and the glamour industry came in, and we sold. The moment the garments came online, we started selling like hotcakes. Like orders were coming like thak 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 thak. We couldn't, like, so much orders started coming that it became like a big big success for us.
Right.
But yes,
So
for creating something like that, it was lot and lot of hard work.
lot of hard work. So that effort showed, and eventually, when sales happen and people do buy, you feel happy. All the effort that you put in is quite worth it. So that
Right.
takes me to a question that I need to ask you. Also, I always in my interview, I have different celebrities and different people from the industry, Anuj, and I always find a connecting question from my professional to personal. I don't like going abruptly to one segment to the other. So I have a connecting question, and before I go that, of course, welcome Vicky Anand. I see you online. I see Divya or Karan from Mrs. Capital of India who joined in, and they wrote a very sweet message to see both of us on the same screen. So welcome all of you, and I need not have to introduce Anuj to everyone, but the ones who probably don't know, he is a fashion stylist, celebrity fashion stylist, and a designer, and a wonderful person at heart. And so my connecting question, Anuj, to you is uh, how do you define friends? How I'm connecting it in a personal and professional side. Hi, Divya. Sorry, I was just guessing if it's you or Karan. So I was just connecting question in the way that professionally also at times, Anuj, you see a lot of you meet a lot of people professionally. And if I may not, I mean, no offense to anyone, but it's true that a lot of people in our industry are not very, they're pretty, there are a lot of people who are fake. There are people you cannot be yourself. There are people who are not somebody that you can, really rely on in terms of calling them a friend. They are sometimes there with you only because of the power and the work you're doing. So how do you define friendship, friends in your life from the professional segment? How do you choose them? How do you have friends and buddies in your list, in your bucket? How do you choose them?
Very interesting question, and I think it's a learning. The kind of person I am, I give my 100% to everyone. I don't know politics. I am not somebody who, I'm a very clean soul. I think twice what I speak. So like when I have met people who have been, like, I call them snakes, or people who have the vicious side to themselves, like there are around everywhere, everywhere.
Right.
They're here, like in our social circles also, the social climbers, people who work with you, they only tag along with you so that they're going to get fame, which is fact. I've seen so many people just tagging on to you just because they're going to get their share of fame, which
Sure.
is true. But आप अपना काम करो. You do your अपना काम with your dedication, and nobody can take your Ankit, I'll tell you, I have never run for fame. Like I have just believed in doing good work. I have just believed in, and like what is most important for me is to be happy, to be peaceful, to come back to do work and to come back to my simple life, my simple family, and to be happy with them and with my few set of friends who give me positive energy. I am not here to please anyone. Or log kya kahenge, I do not care. Because log is not somebody who's going to feed you end of the day. Like
True.
this is a realization. People who are genuine to you, they will be there throughout your life. And people who have been there for a reason, वो आएंगे आपसे मतलब लेंगे चले जाएंगे.
Right.
और ठीक है, अगर किसी को आपको लेना देना करना भी है, if you have to give, if you have to help something to it, it is your past life karma which you have to give in this life.
Why
If
I asked you
somebody
this?
has,
Yeah. Why I asked you this
if
question
somebody,
also because you are a person who believes in karma. You are a
yes,
very God-fearing person. You're a Krishna follower, and I must tell all the viewers that I've come to your house twice. I think you did this very amazing gathering for all of us. Like we had a Sindhi lunch where you had a Sindhi
yeah.
curry, and it was amazing the way you did it. You were a great host. So my question was because there also I noticed you were very selected with your friends and the people you wanted to have over and stuff. So you are pretty clear with that sort of logic. Hi, Varija. Welcome in, joining in. Lovely to see
Hello
you as well.
everyone.
So yes, so you are very particular about when it comes to your friends, right?
True. I feel like everybody cannot be a friend, and there have been times like I have welcomed them open-heartedly. I have been genuine me, and then I've realized कि ये बंदा तो यार मतलब से. But then I say, at least I have been genuine, no? At
Right.
least my conscience have been clean, and maybe
True.
I had some karma from past life with them, which has gone away, which I've dealt
Yes,
with,
that's
and
true.
so which is all right. It doesn't bother me. Everybody in this life comes with an expiry date. This is what I've learned, that एक time phase है, they'll stay with you, and then you have to move on. The sooner you move on in life, the more peaceful and happy you become.
True.
Then
Agreed.
holding bad or having grudges.
Great
So
thought.
have zero grudges in life and be happy. That's the main mantra of life.
So I started my conversation in the right way, though I never knew that you're going to say all this because obviously my chats are never documented in terms of or never planned in terms of any discussions. They're always candid. I've had guests
Right.
who ask me कि हमें questions बताओ कि क्या पूछोगे and all that, and I always tell them that that's no use because there's no point to be on my show if I have to tell you everything
True.
and kind of spoon feed you. And so it's wonderful. I started the conversation saying that you're a very happy-go-lucky person and always smiling and a charming person, and that you kind of defined it to me in the right way in the second segment of personal side. And and I see some lovely guests, trust me, and I'm so happy to see them between their common friends to us also, Anuj. And it's good to see all of them here. And so that brings me to a question that, like I said, that I've been to your house for Sindhi lunch and Sindhi curry. Do you cook? Do you cook yourself? Like I never asked you that time also. कि अनुज ये आपने बनाया या कोई बना के गया है? But do you cook?
I have managed.
Like, is this the lockdown time? Is this the lockdown time or even before that?
No, on and off. Like I would make my Maggies and maybe a pasta or a pav bhaji, something cooked. Like something which is fast. Like I will not die of hunger.
Okay, so Maggie and pastas, I don't consider them cooking. So beyond that, have you cooked Sindhi curry?
Okay,
that's where I was coming.
Divya, I'll call you soon. She's saying I've never called her.
My reason to expose you was this only, so that you get into controversy here.
Okay, this cat ke baad bahut ladai hogi. No, Divya, I'll definitely call you soon. Hi, Sandy. There's a lot of people here. Amazing.
I lost your voice in between, sorry.
No, I was just reading Divya's comment, which is, you've never called me, Anuj. Definitely want to call you soon.
No, I told you that my question was in purpose to ask you this, so that, you get into some controversy at least. So I must tell you, Divya, I enjoyed that meal and twice. So yes, it was amazing. It was delicious. And Anuj being a great host, and you have to see his house. Like it is like a proper stylist house. Like everything is so well kept and well done. And like you said, a lot of blacks and whites around. So that's wonderful. So Anuj, traveling, you love traveling. I have seen you traveling abroad, but I've never seen you traveling domestic as such. I've majorly seen you traveling international. So are you a beachy person? I don't think you're a very person to go to hills. Am I right with that, with my observation?
I love going to hills. I love going to beach. I love to travel. You give me any moment, I can travel.
But how come I've never seen you domestic?
Domestic, I have done a lot. Right from my school days, like I used to have small trips to hills and stuff. Now what I do is like instead of doing and domestic, because of work, I've seen entire India. Like I've seen like all the beaches. I've done Goa for so many shoots. I've done like down south for the shoots. I've done like Darjeeling for the shoots. Like because of my work, like I have been to every untouched area of India and like Thailand. Like I've done like around 15 odd campaigns in Thailand. So like I've been to all those customary to all those honeymoon destinations and all the best places because of work, not because of the travel.
I'm sure now Thailand Airlines or somebody will say, "Welcome back, sir." 15 times to Thailand is like is like a record.
So yes, because of work, I had traveled a lot. So when I'm doing like personal travel or with family, it has to be international, where like we can see new. The world is so huge, yeah. So like every different continent, every different country. I think that is what on my bucket list is.
Superb. Divya's this one message has left at the end, and before the next message comes, she says, "You've been fortunate enough. I have a question, Divya. You've never invited me. We have not come to your house. When are you cooking for us?" So she'll just tell us, I'm telling you, she'll say, you guys keep me so busy in my pageant, I can't do all this.
No. She was making dal makhani yesterday.
Really? Divya?
She was making dal makhani. I had a conversation with her.
Okay, great. So Anuj, what have you been called at home? I've never asked you this. Do you have a pet name at home? Do you like? Sorry?
Motu.
And who's been coming out of this innovative name, by the way, for you?
I think my sister, she started calling me Motu. Like as a child, okay, she's like 5 years. Like I was the youngest, so like every time she used to pick me up and she would fall down. So she used to start calling me Motu.
So, Anuj, I must also ask you this question. Very interesting fact that I saw about you when I was reading, and very, very interesting, actually, I would say. So, a lot of people who, though there are people who are very fond of this thing as well, I'm not saying that it is something very, very exceptional, but very few people I see who are in love with that thing which I'm going to just mention. So, like I'm a person who loves wearing nice jackets, and you've seen me like that, I wear a lot of jackets and I love wearing pocket squares and like lapel
Right.
pins and stuff. There are times when you've come and kind of done my pocket square for me at times in parties when I'm running here and then got messed up. But you're one person I was reading somewhere, Anuj, that you're very fond of shoes.
I love shoes. I love shoes. I have like hundreds of pairs. Though I talk about sustainability all the time, I believe in sustainable living, but I have been a victim. I have been a fashion victim who have shopped and invested so much on footwear you can't even imagine.
So with you,
Like,
I relate with Ranvijay very, very strongly in that manner because, there are times when I've spoken to Ranvijay Singha on my, on an offline conversation or in some show when he's been a co-jury with me. And he is very fond of shoes as well. And you're a second person that I know who's a hardcore lover of shoes.
true, yeah. But now I've been very responsible. When with the time, with the age, you learn. You learn the importance and the value of money. You learn the importance of sustainability. And there was a time I used to like buy without even thinking. Now I question myself: is it important? Do I really need it? Don't I have something similar? So
And
I
what,
keep like on my phone book, there are all my footwear, all my garments clicked. So like I know what I have and I know how I've packed it. So like with the phase of time, like I have become more responsible. Sustainability and responsible living or ethical living or sustainable fashion does not happen over the period of time. It is a
right,
journey. And this I have evolved myself. I think what you read was like like 7 years or 6 years back article where I had mentioned, yes, I have huge collection. Now I have few same collection. I'm not adding on more footwear to it because I am trying to reuse it, give it away, use it in terms of my shoes, and not investing more. Because I
right,
feel when you keep buying or being irresponsible and just hoarding too many things, it does not really help the environment. And you have to become eco-friendly end of the day. And this learning has happened over the period of time. Once I passed out, I was like buying this, buying that, and when your emotional level down, go shopping. When there's a party, go shopping. It was just buying things. But with the
nice.
period of time, I realized be responsible. Uh, you know, you are polluting your environment by having so many things. In end of the day, you do not need so many. You
Right.
can live with your and restyle, reuse it,
Restart, reuse it. I
and
think that's a process you learn with time. I think like you yourself admitted
yes, sir.
that this is the time initially when I read this is like years back an interview that I saw where you said you love shoes. And so it's a process which is learning, and that's also a message that we give to all our viewers, of course. I see Karan joining in. Welcome, Karan. I think Karan has joined in. I think he realized that Divya is inviting
Hi.
us for dinner, and he thought, "मैं ना रह जाऊँ, तो I'll quickly come online so that I get the invite too." Welcome, welcome, Karan. And so, Anuj, uh, how about a rapid fire? Yes, no.
No, no, no.
But sorry, we'll still do it.
I
But
have
we'll keep
not
it.
that with our alphabets and
But
all.
we'll
No
keep it.
ways.
No, no, we won't do that with you. I always change things in all my shows, and so for you, we have something new and something very interesting. So it's not trial and tested. So it's more scary for you. So, so Acha. By the way, before I go there, I also want to ask you one thing. That you are quite a hi Resham. You're quite a Bollywood buff as well, right? You love Bollywood
Full on.
full on. Okay, so
Yeah. Who doesn't love Bollywood? We are Indian. Yeah, we live in India, so we love Bollywood.
so, guys, we are going to carry this conversation on, and I have 24 seconds remaining as per Instagram, then it gets shut down. So, we're going to come back, Anuj. Let's join back again. For this little segment
Sure.
we are left with viewers' question. Resham, Divya, all of you guys, please join back in next 10 seconds. So I'll see you back, Anuj, because
Sure.
this is going to get switched off.